So another concept in Lean is something called a FIFO lane. And this isn't particularly unique to Lean, but it's something Lean uses as a technique and sometimes says this is the better way to handle this process rather than the way we're doing it. Perfect example of a FIFO lane is an automotive assembly line. So in an automotive assembly line, the chassis starts and it gets kind of pulled along. There's a chain conveyor that's pulling the vehicle along, and people are assembling it and they're putting stuff on. Well, it's first in, first out. You can't rearrange the order that the cars are going through that assembly line. There could be 1,000 vehicles on that assembly line. And if the 300th vehicle, you want to rush it, you just really can't do much about it. It's in its spot and it's staying there. And that's the idea of a FIFO lane. So in a lot of cases, it'll be done as in a conveyor type system where there will be, you'll see it maybe in a supermarket, or an even better example would be a Coke machine, where you have the cans of Coke, and so you load it up from the top, and as they come out in the order they were loaded in. And that's typically used for, first of all, preventing a production line of some sort from being overloaded with work. So the employee who's working on that production line, or the employees, they're only going to get as much work at a time as that FIFO lane dispenses. So you know you're not going to have some moment when they're going to get this huge pile of work just appear out of nowhere. It's going to come to them a little bit at a time over the course of however long they're working on it. You also know that as soon as something goes in that FIFO lane, eventually it's coming out the other side. And so it gives you a little bit of scheduling control. But the nice thing about it also is that if you're doing it properly, when that lane fills up, if it has a place for 10 items in it, the person in the previous stage should stop making parts, because overproduction is one of the wastes. And if your FIFO lane is full and you keep making parts, you're just overproducing. So it's a good way to control the pace of work, and it's a good way of ensuring that that you're not overloading any one area of the facility. And like I said, your typical Coke machine is a perfect example of a FIFO lane.